Dijon mustard. Dijon mustard, well, it's made with a bit of wine, so it's going to perk things up. So just a teaspoon and a half here. And then we're going to add a bit of cayenne. That's going to pick things up a bit. Add a bit of heat, just a tiny bit. And now Worcestershire. Now, people always say, when do you use Worcestershire? Well, I always say when you're not sure what to add to your chilies or your stews or your fondues, add a bit of Worcestershire. It's going to add the perfect bit of flavor. Why? Because it's got so many flavors in it. And Worcestershire and fondues, they go good together. So we're going to give this a stir. Everything's coming up so perfectly. We just want to make sure all those flavors spread around. Now, another ingredient we're going to add is some nutmeg. Well, nutmeg, well, it goes great with creamy stuff, cheeses and cream sauces. Now, you can buy it already in its ground form, but I want you to start buying these things right here. They're like the seed. And what you'll find at the grocery store is you buy like 10 of them at once. Well, you don't need 10. So when you go to the bulk food store, just pick up 1 or 2. A little goes a long way, and just go on a little rasp. And it's just really going to round out those flavors. It's just going to finish off those flavors. I love nutmeg, especially at the holidays. All right, this is done. We have one more ingredient to add, a little bit more of Canadian. We're going to add some whiskey, so just a tablespoon. And with the wine, we cooked off that alcohol. This, we want people to know that there's a bit of alcohol in there, a bit of a party. So just a tablespoon. Give it one final stir, and this guy is good to go. Look at that bubble away. That's amazing. Now, I'm going to get my fondue into the fondue pot, and the main dish is ready to go. After the break, our crisp comes out of the oven, and we're going to be making our P-Mail bacon sliders. Trust me, these guys are impossible to resist. Stick around.
Hey, Canada! We want you.
Be the next champion. Apply and prove what kind of smart you really are.
Apply now at cbc.ca/smartestperson.
I want to see my girls be part of the team. Not from the sidelines, but in the action. To never shy away from the ball or any challenge. But I can't. And my heart aches.
June is Jumpstart Month. Visit your local Canadian Tire and help kids in your community. Because we all play for Canada.
More ways to enjoy your favorite CBC series.
David Rhodes, get down on your knees with your hands up.
Guilty as charged.
What are you doing?
The right thing. Republic of Doyle, Season 6, the final chapter.
We have to act now.
Should we kiss?
Shut up.
Jake Doyle is innocent.
How do you know?
We're gonna prove it. We can do this.
I'm not telling you, not telling you. I don't know. Look, I don't know anything.
Experience the best of CBC, your way.
Brookside Chocolate now has a crunch. Brookside Crunchy Clusters. Crispy multigrains and sweet fruit-flavored pieces dipped in rich dark chocolate. Discover Brookside Crunchy Clusters.
During the DAS Summer Sales event, everyone can afford German engineering. Like the Smith family, who took this opportunity to get the Jetta's best-in-class trunk space and go to the beach prepared for anything.
Almost anything.
During the DAS Summer Sales event, get 0% APR up to 72 months or up to $3,500 cash discount. Where will you go this summer?
Your eyes get sunburned, just like your skin. At LensCrafters, we can fit your prescription into nearly any pair of sunglasses. Sunblock never looked this good. LensCrafters loves eyes.
Saying hello or goodbye to someone at Pearson International Airport this summer? CBC's groundbreaking new series, Hello Goodbye, wants to hear from you.
We're back, and today I have the ultimate casual entertaining menu. Every dish is easy to make, so you can spend time with your guests. And this one here is gonna get you rave reviews. Look at this maple apple and blueberry crisp. Perfectly crunchy on top and bubbling sweet fruit underneath. Now, you just wanna let it cool for a bit. And you remember, you just wanna cook it until it's fork tender. That way you know it's done, but you want to let it cool so that everything kind of thickens. Now, this recipe for P-Mail bacon sliders is one of my favorites because it looks really fancy, and the combination of bacon and maple syrup, well, it's always a hit. So I've got some Vidalia onions here. Now, Vidalia onions are white and they're sweet. They're good raw or cooked. Put them on a sandwich or in a salad and you are laughing. Now let's add a bit of salt and pepper, bring out the flavors. And we're gonna add a bit of depth. We're gonna add some chicken stock. That's gonna help add flavor. It's gonna concentrate the goodness of our chicken stock. And it's also gonna help brown them a bit quicker. So just about 2 tablespoons is good. And that's just gonna bubble away and thicken right up. Now, I love P-Mail bacon sandwiches. They're one of my favorites. When I go to the market on the weekend, I always buy one. I don't eat breakfast before I go. And putting these out for your friends, they are going to be following you with this recipe. They're going to be asking you for the recipe and passing it off as their own. Don't let them do that. All right, so that's going. Let's get our next pan going. We are going to be cooking up our P-Mail bacon. I'm just going to go on a medium-high heat here. And we need some veg oil. This is going to help so that our bacon doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. It doesn't have a lot of fat in it, as opposed to the regular streaky bacon, so we need to help it out a bit. You don't want to have bacon sticking. And P-Mail bacon, Canadian bacon, you see the theme here? We're coming all together nicely. So just keep an eye on your onions. I'm just going to wait for that just to get a tiny bit hotter before we add it. And these, look how thin they are. That means they're going to cook up nice and quick. I love caramelized onions. I could actually put caramelized onions on anything. They're just so soft, and especially for people who don't like onions, you caramelize onions, and I promise you they'll be loving them. They'll be like, what is that? Now, let's make our glaze. Our P-Mail bacon would taste great on its own, but we're going to make it taste even better. We're going to add a bit more Canadian. We're going to add 1/4 cup of maple syrup. Now, this isn't a time to skimp. Always buy the best maple syrup you can afford. So we just need about 1/4 cup, which is 4 tablespoons. And we're also going to add 1/4 cup of mustard. Now, mustard and maple syrup, you cannot go wrong with that combination. It is so classic. We're using grainy Dijon today. It's going to add a bit of a crunch. It's going to look good. And it's going to go perfectly with this. So just give it a stir. Can you hear our bacon? Saying, Carrie, come and turn me. So let's go. These are cooking up perfectly. You could do these on the grill if you want, on a cast iron grill, and get some lovely lines happening. But I am going to step away because these guys are firing. And you know how I feel about my outfit. I got guests coming. I got to look good. All right, so these are perfect. I'm just going to turn these off because they are actually good to go. Now let's check on our bacon. You really only need to flip them once, but I'm looking for a tiny bit of brown color. And I just wanted to make sure it's there. And remember, because they're so thin, they cook up so quickly. So these guys are done. Our next step is, well, we're going to cut it into some thin slices. Toss it in our glaze, and on the sandwich it goes. Now these will be hot, so be careful. Use your tongs here, and that'll help you. We're going to cut it into some slices. If you have to feed a ton of people, this is a great little appetizer to do as well. But like I said, we're casual entertaining today, which means simple recipes that are super easy to make. And look how cute these buns are. You can toast them if you want. Now, if you can't find these guys, you could generally find little dinner rolls or mini focaccias or ciabattas. Use whatever you can find. So let's start assembling. So I'm going to take some P-Mail bacon first. Just going to place it on top like so. And then we're going to take some of our caramelized onions. Now this is a reason why we have them so soft. That way they'll stay right on there and they'll form to whatever we put them in. And last but not least, we're gonna make a little topping. Now you could do all sorts of things. I have some gherkin pickles here, gherkin pickles. We're gonna add a cherry tomato on top just for some color. Then you just stick it like so. Now you could do whatever you want. Let your imagination run wild. And look at this tray. Isn't it awesome of sandwiches? Now let's come over here. The party's over here, people. So there you have it, the ultimate casual entertaining menu. Now, here's how to get it all perfect. For the crisp, to avoid a soupy crisp, use apples that hold their shape well, such as Golden Delicious, Northern Spy, or Granny Smith. And let your crisp sit after you take it out of the oven. That way it gives you a bit of time for it to thicken up before you serve it. And for the cheese fondue, bring the wine to a simmer before you add the cheese so that it melts smoothly. And after you add the cornstarch, bring it up to a boil so that your fondue gets nice and thick. And for the female bacon sliders, avoid soggy buns by cooking the onions until they're soft and reducing the chicken stock completely before adding them to your mini sandwiches. And be sure to make enough sliders for your guests. These guys are gonna go like hotcakes. And there you have it, a tested till perfect menu for your next casual dinner party. Don't go away, I'll explain the do's and don'ts of fondue parties next.
Hi, I'm Jim Treleving.
I'm Joe Mimran.
I'm Manjeet Minhas.
I'm Michelle Romanow.
I'm Michael Weckley.